So, as we're all waiting for the Raiders to get their act together and finally win a game, which they may do this week against a terrible Chicago Bears defense, don't hold your breath though, because Caleb Williams had the best game of his professional career just last week against the Dallas Cowboys. If he continues in that trajectory, we could be in for a major disaster. So while we're waiting for that and the outcome, which we will certainly cover here on this channel, I want to talk about something that is very important right now. And that is that the United States and the world is on the cusp of World War III. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but there are some major signs that should be very worrisome to all of us here at home, Raiders fans or not. And that is this. If you remember a while back, the Trump administration changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. They started using the military to start attacking civilian ships off of the coast of Venezuela. Now, you could debate the right or wrong of that and whether or not they were drug dealers, etc., blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is a progression of things that have changed very rapidly just in the past couple of weeks. Next thing you have is Donald Trump meets with Vladimir Putin to try and solve the issue in Ukraine. They meet in Alaska. It comes to absolutely nothing. Donald Trump was not able to get him to capitulate in any way, shape, or form. And Putin is dead set on continuing his war in Ukraine and to attack even deeper into Ukraine and seize more territory. So now you have Donald Trump doing a complete 180 on Putin. And I'll talk about that here in a second. But then a few days ago, we have Russia sending drones into Poland and other NATO countries. Then you have them sending in actual fighter jets into NATO countries. And then you have Donald Trump come out and say that he is now on board 100% to send even more armament over to NATO and do whatever it takes to defend every square inch of NATO. Now, he's been super critical of NATO from the very beginning for a long time, even all the way back to his first presidency. So the fact that he has now changed his tune is a very interesting development. Then last night, we have Russian bombers, not drones, not civilian aircraft, bombers, violate U.S. airspace in Alaska, triggering a response by our own Air Force to shoo them away with our F-16s. And we probably even sent up a couple of F-35s. Then it comes out today that Pete Hegseth, the head of the Department of War, has now called 800 top generals and admirals back to the U.S., if many of them are overseas. So they now have to come back to the U.S. to a meeting in Quantico where they're going to discuss something that right now is being kept secret. This is unprecedented. Even during the First and Second Gulf War, they never had such a meeting with every single one of these major generals. Typically, the way that it would work is you would have the top generals, probably a couple dozen, with admirals for the Navy. And then they would get their marching orders, and then they would go and have their meetings with their independent underlings. But to have 800 of these guys come and have a single meeting with Pete Hegseth is very interesting. And I'm going to get to what this could be here in just a second. I do want to say that we have a sponsor of this channel, and we cannot do this without our beloved sponsors. They are so fantastic. I'm talking about Box House. In this time when it is so difficult for you to buy a home, it is almost impossible at the current rates and prices because so many of the homes are owned by these major investment firms and corporations, and they're artificially keeping the home prices extremely high, making it difficult for the average American to buy a home today. But did you know that there's an alternative? If you go back just to the 1960s, the average American family of 5 lived in a home less than 1,200 square feet. Tiny living is the way to go, guys. It's the way that I live now. and I absolutely love it. I've downgraded my life, and I've gotten so much acreage that I can play with just by downsizing the way I live. And Box House has the best product on the market. I've done business with them personally. I can vouch for their customer service, their professionalism, and their product. Go and check them out today. Link is down in the description, and the phone number is here on the screen. So what is Pete Hegseth having this meeting for? I think that right now, the tune has changed on Ukraine. And Donald Trump has a rival in the world in Vladimir Putin. And we know that Donald Trump is a very competitive person. And he cannot stand to have anybody not bow down to his will. And it seems like Ukraine is about to become an American battlefield. So long are the days of fighting in the Middle East and Iraq and Afghanistan. We're not even going to war with Iran. We're going to war with Ukraine, or with Ukraine, like as in their ally, against Russia. This is a very dangerous game, guys, and I don't know what the end result of this is going to be, but I can tell you that if this pops off where U.S. troops and NATO troops are directly getting involved into Ukraine, more so than they already have, it is going to have dire consequences for us here at home. Whether you agree with the decision to do this or not, the reality is this is going to cause major disruption to supply chains, economic woes, and strife right here at home. So what I want to say to all of you is, we have to keep living our lives. You can't just give up. So yes, we're going to keep on rooting on our teams. We're going to keep enjoying dinner with family, birthdays, holidays, whatever it is that you do. But be prepared and understand that hard times are possibly coming to the United States. Harder than any of this generation has ever seen. The Iraq War, the Gulf Wars, both of them, and the Afghan War were nothing compared to what it will be like if the United States gets bogged down into a protracted war with Russia in the Ukraine. So keep your family safe, keep your family together. We'll continue to follow the story. Check out our Substack if you're interested in more news like this. This is just a PSA to all my Raider Nation. But if you're interested in more news than this, we have the Substack. Link will be down in the description. Go sign up over there. You can sign up for free, or you can support with a subscription if you want. Until next time, guys, stay safe. Go Raiders.